Nej, det borde
Jag
Okej,
gör
fine.
det för att jag ska kunna veta när jag editar sen till YouTube. Eller vill du ha den på YouTube?
I can have it on YouTube, that's fine. It would be nice for some members who can't watch as well. Oh shit. Bye bye. Why are you doing this? We've talked about this, Lama. I swear to God.
Nu kör vi igång då.
Yeah.
Okay, welcome to a different episode of Player Spotlight, ?
Something.
Instead of players, we have a player players of Melee. We have a player of fighting games and occasionally Melee.
Yeah.
And instead of interviewing them about their journey through Melee and the Smash community, I'm going to be talking to them about, well,
Everything else.
basically just how they got into fighting games.
I mean,
how
you can talk about
games,
Melee
and
too.
Melee as a tangent of that, I think.
Yeah.
But
That's fine.
I'm actually going to start off by asking you, what is this game and why are you playing something that came out in 2018?
Because I love it. I mean, I started my fighting game journey ages ago at school when I was in high school. I was bored at lesson. I think it was electronics or something. I was just watching YouTube. I just quit Cataclysm for WoW because I realized I hate this game. So I was watching some YouTube videos, like, you know, as you do as a good student. Don't listen to the lessons because the school's shit. So what I did was that I watched a Street Fighter 4 Ultra compilation. And I thought they were hella cool. I was like, oh, these Ultras. How do you do them? Like, they look so cool and complex. And then you realize later, oh, it's just a popcorn circle. They ain't that complex. But I was inspired at that, so I installed it on my shitty school laptop, which I almost burned in the process. Yeah, don't show. Yeah, frame trap, motherfucker. And then I installed it, and I started playing on, like, what, 15 frames or something? Yeah, you're dead. And then I just continued. I don't know why. Something about like learning fighting games and just understanding systems just appealed to me. And this game in particular, I just got recommended from a random friend because, you know, I was the weird guy who took my Xbox to school to play fighting games. Because like during the third year, I had so much free time because school was shit. So I just stole the projectors and went like, well, I'm gonna play fighting games. They were like, well, you're a good student. I guess you can do this. And the guy who really got me into fighting games recommended me this game because the next version, which came out for Xbox, the second one, it was coming out. And he was like, well, you know, you're an anime weeb nerd. There's this squiggly character called Arcune who's super cool, and I think you'd like that with your weird-ass playstyle. And then I tried Arcune for like 2 years and realized this shit's difficult. Because Arcune is like one of the hardest characters to learn. Why did you fuck up? I hate this. I'm gonna chastise Lama as much as I can, because Jesus Christ. There we go. And then I played Arcune, and I just got sucked into the game. I also got into Tekken at the same time, because Tekken Tag 2 had come out for the PS3. So that's why I originally...
What year was this?
Blaze Blue was 2011, I think. 2011, 2012. Tekken Tag was 2012 to 13, because I bought a PS3 specifically to buy Blaze Blue. Because the third version didn't come to Xbox, and I was like, "Fuck, how do I give this?" So I had to order a PS3. I broke my knee almost and lost my keys, and I had to order it from America because for some god awful reason they were like, physical copies in Europe, no, digital, no, and I'm like, why do you do this to me? So I had to order it from America just to play this. Like that's how committed I was. Ooh, bad burst. I was committed to playing this game because I think this game is fantastic. It's an anime game. Like, I think this game fits very well because many people I know from the Smash community like have tried, you know, Strive recently because everybody's been playing the new hypest thing. And I think Blaze Blue is a really good like middle ground because Guilty Gear, depending on which version you play, especially Plus R, it can be it's Melee with more anime jank. Like, you think
what does jank mean?
Unblockable setups, which are totally 100% true, bullshit mechanics where you're like, what the hell? But it also makes the game beautiful in its way, like it's very, poor man, that it's very wild, in a sense. And also tier lists in that game specifically is not hell. I play one of the worst characters in the game, and they can still win, but it's very volatile. Like, it's a good game, but There's some things with it, like throws are 0 frames. You can option select them from normals.
What does something being 0 frames mean? Because that doesn't exist in Melee.
It's instantaneous. Like if let's say in this interaction where I did 5C, if I'd pressed heavy slash, which is in guilty at the same time, the game would read the input and overdrive it with the throw input. So I would just get the throw for free. Like you can't react to the throws. But,
yeah, but like, how's that different from 1 frame?
Because 1 frame startup, you can still be hit. If they have an attack out and you have 1 frame of startup.
Oh, start up.
Yeah,
okay,
it's 0 frames. It's
yeah,
0
so
frames.
Shine is a 0 frame move in that case.
Yeah,
that's what you're saying.
Yeah, because Shine makes you. Shine is that because you become invulnerable at frame 1, right? If I remember correctly.
The hitbox and the invulnerability is frame 1.
Yeah, exactly. So technically it becomes it. But let's say if it didn't have that invulnerability at all, it wouldn't have been it would have been a 1 frame move, but if someone had I don't know, put a jab out, you would have been like, oh no, I'm getting hit. But throws are really, really weird. Hey man. Hey man.
Sup?
Thanks, boys.
But
yeah, but I started with Blaze just because someone recommended it to me, and then I played Skullgirls. I went to the local scene in Stockholm for a while, a little bit. I actually got.
Where was the local scene in Stockholm?
It's in Dragon's Lair, Light Dash. They exist to this day, I think, and are doing really well. I do follow them on Facebook because that's the only source I have. And that was also from my dear friend who gave me my preference for sticks as well. Very kind friend who I sadly don't talk to anymore, but I do miss him. And he just took me there because I'm a shy little bitch when it comes to, or at least back then. I'm still a bit shy, like in Discords and everything. But he just knew like I need to take you to this place because I know you'll have fun. So he took me there, and I got my ass handed to me. I did manage to beat someone on stream, and I was hype about that. Like I had a pretty much good time over there. And then I became, as I always were when I played this game, where I just sit in challenge mode. Oh, nice. Should have checked meter. Where I just played, I mean, you've been with me. I used to play challenge mode and just grind combos.
All the combos, yeah.
Because I'm a mess of some sorts. So I did that, and then this game came out, got a little bit more into fighting games, and then, thanks to VFGC Boris in chat, I got, and you had also talked about the Västerås Smash scene as well, when you were over and talked very well about them.
Yeah.
So Boris was actually one of the people I had to be a mentor, or not very close to being a mentor, for new people, because I applied for that, and he knew me. So during the famous Västerås Kobit launch, where our club do our huge ass tournament per year, I am dead. I'm not dead. He saw me there because I was there, just randomly actually. I wasn't even planning to be there. I was just sad that day, and I was like, I don't want to be home. So I took my PS3 there because I was like, I don't want to bring my computer. And I sat in a corner, all sad, playing Under Night. And he noticed me. He was like, I know this guy. I heard him talk about Guilty Gear. So he and the former chairman of the club approached me. And they were like, hey, Viking, like, sup? Or Havre, as I'm called. And they're like, what are you doing? And I'm sitting there like half trying to not stop crying. I'm like, yeah, I'll play fighting games. And they're like, oh, cool. What are you playing? Like, is it like Street Fighter or something? And I'm like, it's Under Night Inbirth EXE late. They're like, what the fuck's all right. Cool, dude.
I don't even know. I've never heard of a name that is. It's that and Melty Blood are like the names that are.
Melty Blood's fine. It's mostly Under Night.
No, the names is what I'm saying. The names are terrible.
I mean,
the fuck does Melty Blood mean? It's a terrible game name.
It's the same people who make Fate, or kinda ish.
But
Whatever.
Fate at least is like, it makes sense. Melty Blood doesn't make any sense.
Just melt some blood. Just become Melt Mage.
Thank you for the sub, by the way.
Thank you. Hey, Kalkon. Where were we since my ADHD brain? We were talking about
yeah,
and such.
We were talking about shit game names. But the real thing we were talking about was you were playing Under Night.
Yeah, and Boris, I didn't hear anything from it for a while, and then Boris just randomly poked me on, I guess, Facebook or something. And he was like, yo, we have this Melee club, but we kind of want to expand out because we have one other person there who occasionally comes over and plays Street Fighter 5. And I didn't really like when I
Who was the person who came over to a Melee local and exclusively played Street Fighter 5?
me and then Skugfisk, but he isn't with us anymore, like in the club.
Oh,
specifically.
okay. When you said he isn't with us, it sounded like
no, he's not there. He's not there.
Okay,
It's
he's
just
not
hasn't
dead
been-
yet.
He's active somewhere, but I don't know where.
Okay.
But he played, and he was the one who was teaching Boris. So you know, I had someone to like, because Boris had like what played like maybe an inch of Tekken and like years of Melee. Nice. And what the? All right, quarter swap. Let's go. And they both were playing, and then slowly over time, Boris was so kind to. He drove me every time they were there on first days. He actually drove home because he drew all the setups to the place with CRTs. He actually came to my place and drove me with my computer every single first day for like half a year, I guess.
Yeah.
Every time, and I really appreciate it. He still drives me occasionally to this day. Oh, nice. I am dead because overdrive. And then slowly but surely we got to our locale, and then people were like, "Yo, like maybe we could get more like into fighting games." Because I was bought in as the like, "Hey, you're not a Melee
the
stan."
actual fighting game man, and not just Melee.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
before the club was only Melee, basically.
Yeah, exactly. It was all Melee. But then I came in and we got our locale, and I, as I did in my background when nobody wanted, like, because I didn't want to play Melee to begin. Like I was fine playing the game, but it's also like when you jump into a pool of sharks and you're like, oh no, everyone's here's like been playing for like 6 years, and here I am like, what is a wave thing? like I understood the concept a little bit because you and I had talked Melee before and such. Why are you in danger state? Lama, I hate this. Why are you doing this? That won't hit me, but that one.
There's no way the other people have been playing for 5 years, by the way.
Ninja was there.
Yes, but he's the only one. he was the only one
I
who
think
had played
Hope.
Melee for 5 years.
I think Hope played.
Yes, and Hope.
And Finland.
And Finland, yeah.
Yeah, and they were more active there.
Yeah.
As well.
Had you really been playing for 5 years? Jesus, this is news to me. My bad, I guess.
You're like,
I'm sorry, I guess. I thought you were newer than.
These projectiles, I'm not dead and you're fucked.
Anyway, that's just a tangent. It doesn't matter. But what I was interested in, what happened in the, because now, not to spoil, but the club is now called Västerås Fighting Game Community.
Club.
Or club, sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
And not Melee Club.
Yeah, or whatever it was called before. Yeah, because we wanted to diversify. Like when I was brought in, after I've managed to, I don't know, be good at Street Fighter, people were like, "Wow, this dude is nice. He's like cool to hang out with. He's still here. What is this?" And because I know Henrik had talked about like we kind of want to like diverge to not just play Dead, not just to play Melee, like because Ultimate was also coming out at the same time, and we're like, yeah, we could have like Ultimate, Melee, and another game. And I was like, well, I guess we're doing Street Fighter for now.
Yeah.
And I was playing Blaze in the background, and people were like, what's this shit game? And I'm like, you motherfuckers, you have no idea. Playing my main also, which is nice if you like ice. But yeah, and then once the club got up, we started like having our tournaments. Our locals were like somewhat successful. Like it comes from like back and forth, a little back and forth. We started doing monthlies later, which were, I think, successful. Like we managed to be at least consistent with like our monthlies. But of course, as the only like fighting game like hype like fighting games, obviously the fighting game sections were lacking. But slowly over time that sort of shifted. I think most people, because we were like 4 to 5 players playing Street Fighter. It was me, Henrik.
What do you think happened to make the transition? Because before you said there was one other person than you who played Street Fighter.
Yeah.
And now you're saying there was 4?
Yeah, Jobon also got in. I think it's just because like people want to try different games. Like I'm the sort of person like at this point in my life I'll try any game. I'm still one of the proponents of like, yo, have you heard about Arcana Heart? And people are like, what the
Why did you say it like at this point of my life?
I mean,
something terrible has happened to you and you'll
is-
try any
my
drug.
life is- yeah,
I'll try anything, man. I just need my fix.
no, but like, But that's usually how it becomes, like, once you play these games for too long, I think. You just want to try everything and just see what you like, what you don't. Compare and contrast. With Melee, like, platform fighters might be a little bit difficult because there's less on the market. Like, you have, what? Rua, Ultimates, Melee, input some platform fighter here, I don't know.
Brawlhalla.
Yeah, Brawlhalla, if you want to snort. Have you played Super Monkey Ball? I have not. Well, I did.
The famous fighting game, Super Monkey Ball.
I mean, if you're fighting the controls, you're close enough.
I love Monkey Ball.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's talk about actual games.
Yeah.
That you played. So what did you said that you think that it comes down to people wanting to try games?
Yeah, because for example, we started playing Tekken, for example, and that's just because our dear Smishmarf just randomly I think he watched some tournaments or something, and he was like, yeah, Tekken looks cool, like the movement. And then since he started playing it, and since I'm the person who's like, I'll play in the game, we started playing Tekken for a while, which was semi-successful. I'm not a huge Tekken, like I think Tekken's a fine game, but I'm clearly weeb trash, so I'm playing these kind of games. But, like, we played Tekken for a while, we played Street Fighter 5 for a long while. We had some other people come over to the club, like old Guilty Gear people from Westeros and play as well. Both Plus R and Xrd or whatnot. And then sometime when we moved to our new locale, because we had to move for nice, I feel threatened. Because that's my trick, you motherfucker. Purple furs are my thing. It's a bad strategy. But yeah, when we moved to the new locale, BlazBlue had come out to the Switch. And I've been playing this game like in the background for them. I think there's a stream where we have like a hype Melee tournament, and you just see me and another dude just play BlazBlue in the background, and everyone's like, fuck's this shit game? And then the founder, or one of the founders of the club, just randomly wrote to me one night, like 3 a.m. Like, we bought BlazBlue for fun because we're drunk. And then like the day later, like, we sat for 16 hours trying to learn the game. Was this game good? And I'm like, have you not heard the Lord and Savior? I'm gonna play a grappler and hit myself. And then from there, since they started it on Switch, they took it to the club, and then it started popular. Like BlazBlue is not the most popular game in our club, but it has become a staple just because like people got into it, and then Kevin got into Plus R, which VFGC Havre also did. Like, it's hard to solidify also an experience when
I'm gonna mute this.
I'm gonna mute the Discord though. Bye-bye. Let's see. Alright, I'm playing Grappler. This is the best Grappler I have ever seen. Do you know his gimmick?
Doesn't he do like 40% of HP?
Well, that too, but he also magnetizes, which means
he sucks.
Yeah, he's Suksuin. It's a Grappler that's Suksuin.
Like, he's not just a bad character, he also sucks.
No,
I'm kidding.
Yeah, I know. But like here, I can suck him into the grapple because he's magnetized, and then we go for again.
Is he actually a bad character?
Kinda.
So he sucks.
No, well, he sucks. In the one, no, I'm not saying that line.
Okay.
I know which line you're making for it.
He sucks and he fucks.
Occasionally. No, but yeah, currently in the club, since we're currently in Corona times, it's been we haven't had any tournaments nor any like mega motivation.
Like, okay, I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions.
Do it.
Because we're like speeding.
I know.
We're going like 1,000 miles an hour.
Welcome to ADHD brain, but yes, go on.
And my non-ADHD brain wants some answers to some questions.
Yes.
So in your mind, you think that what helped you guys formulate a club that not only plays Melee but actually has an open, an open environment where you can try any fighting game.
Yeah.
You thought that perhaps one of the factors was that you were open yourself to trying different games. So you think that other people have the same thing, where they are just willing to try different things.
They've started to become that, like over time, right? Because there's a almost. Are you dead? Not yet. Like over time, it becomes that. Bye bye. Oh, nice. Like over time, I think it becomes that because like it's nice to play, your game that you love. Like I could play BlazBlue probably until the end of time. Same for people with Melee or whatever. But like it becomes a point of the club where we're so friendly with each other, where it's like, well, I'll just try this. Like I managed to get the legendary Barba to play BlazBlue and actually sit him down. And he was like, why is this game good?
Yeah.
And etc. And I think it's nice to, at least in my mind, to experience different fighting games and see what they offer. Not specifically because you want to master them and become the best, but just to train different experiences.
Or just have fun.
Yeah, that too. Like it's fun to. I think it's fun myself to learn games. Overall, like I mean, I play Endless Space forever because I was like, damn, I want to learn a good grand strategy game or whatever. Like I'm mostly up for anything. The only thing I'm not up for is, I don't know, Minecraft. Because my ADHD mind is like, they're like, everyone's like, do your own goals, and I'm like, I can't set goals. Oh no.
Well, there is an end game now to Minecraft.
I've heard so. I'm still not
so
looking.
you can finish Minecraft.
I could, but I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
But I think because of the openness, and also because we have had people come over with games as well. We actually had like 3 people come over with Samurai Shodown when it came out. Sadly, they came during a tournament, so it was like, yes. But I still played it with them for like 4 hours, and was like, okay, this ain't my type of game, but I got to experience very slow footsies, etc. And I think that's about. I don't know how it translates to like Melee or whatever, but I think just getting different experiences, like different gameplay styles, like Blaze Blue is very fast, and you have Street Fighter, which is slow and tactical, etc. Like it helps you, in my opinion, which I might be wrong in. Build different strategies and just adapt differently. Because one of the reasons, or am I tangenting again? Probably.
No, keep going.
But like one of the reasons I play so many different characters in Blaze Blue, not only because I've just played this game for so long that I was just like, I just want to learn characters, but I also realized that the more I try different characters, the more things I discover about my mains or etc. Like for example, when I have to play Tiger here, I have to be really careful. Like I have to read like a motherfucker because this character has really bad defensive options. He has 1 reversal, and that's a 720. Have you tried doing a 720 on a stick real fast?
I don't know what a 720 is. Oh, you mean spinning it
Yep.
720
Yes.
degrees?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's very difficult in my opinion. Let's kill your berry. Bye bye. Oh, nice, you dodged it. Kinda. Now we're done.
Was
yeah.
that a 720?
No, that was just 2 quarter circles.
Okay.
You will barely see me do 720s on Takers because
Okay.
I have to do setups for that,
Okay.
etc. But for Taker, for example, I have to learn that. When I played Hakumen earlier during our test, Hakumen's a very defensive character because his gimmick is that he doesn't have any reversals. All his reversals. Imagine Marth, but if Marth's counters was godlike, like actually godlike, like you could get full combos from them whenever the hell you want.
Yeah.
And that's Hakumen, which means with Hakumen, I have to play much more defensively and think about what I do and wake up. Because his parries isn't omnidirectional. Like I have to select, are they going to do a low mid or are they going to do a high? And if I do parries, they can just grab me.
Yeah. No, I think that's like something that you see in not exclusively in fighting games. I think in Melee you can learn a lot from trying a different character also, especially about your own character. Like trying to play against your own character as a different character and trying to abuse the shit that other people are doing to you. Like if I'm playing Falco, for instance, I'm regularly a Falco player, and I'm like shit. All I do when I play against Mars is I get down tilted at ledge, and I just die, and I think they're stupid, and I hate them. If you then start playing as Marth yourself, and you try to face Falcos, eventually you'll find a Falco who's really good and who doesn't fall for down tilt, and you'll learn like, okay, this is what they do to avoid it. So this is how you can play around it as Falco. Interesting. You could also learn this from watching other people play, of course, but if you're the type of player who doesn't like watching people play too much...
Yeah, which is basically me, because I'm very bad at like watching my replays and etc.
Yeah.
Especially in like this game.
Yeah.
I have like 16 replays saved, and it's all like memes. Where I play Tiger and suck someone from full screen because they jumped by mistake and are like, what? What do you mean? Like that. But I do think like watching your own things, like it helps to watch, especially because I watch other people's replays. Like Mr. Lom over here, who I've probably played against for like probably 2 years now, not in this game, but in everything, where I have to constantly, like even now, I'm still observing like all his patterns and trying to remember what bad things he did. That's a good overdrive activation, etc. You could have blocked that because that's -9, etc. And I think watching yourself can be really difficult to do because you feel not egotistical, but you can have the bad mindset of watching and just watching your mistakes, and just not, instead of like trying to be like, okay, I did this mistake here because I thought of this, like in this situation, like over here if I insta blocked another hit there, I would be like, oh, I could try doing a 5A, and it's like maybe not because of these things, etc. No, I'm done. Or like having meter management, etc. I think that's one of the funniest things about seeing melee people play fighting games, in my opinion. It's not controls, it's not gameplay systems, it's where the hell you look at your screen. Because I don't know how many times I've called out people where they're like, oh, my combo didn't kill, or why did you do this option? I'm like, have you checked the meter? And they're like, no, and etc. And I just think it's just very interesting to me, because in melee you watch your character and maybe sometimes you watch the percent. If I understand the flow of where you look.
Yeah, it depends on who the player is, though. Generally, if you're a better player, you don't watch your own character at all.
Yeah, exactly, and I agree with that.
Because there's no information to be gained from watching your own character. You should know what your character is doing from your muscle memory. So what you can do is you can watch your opponent all the time, and then you can just get more visual cues to react to whatever's happening.
Yep.
But and people do watch percents, but usually people, or like, this depends on the player. Some people watch percents more than others, and some people watch, I think one of the key things where people actually watch percents is like when people get grabs, they usually check the percents, because they want to know what the follow-up is. But you could do that in theory in combos and shit as well. It's just that people don't do it as much.
Well, it's the same with like knockdowns in this game, right? Like maybe you watch your meter, like I usually watch my meter. Like, I'm the weird guy who just knows, because I play this game too much. So it's like, I kind of instinctively know when I have enough meter. And also, nice cues. You can check the colors on the meters and see what they are.
Yeah.
Which people always forget. Am I going to get red? No. Why did I do that? I'm dead. Why did you drop? But yeah, I just think watching the screen and that difference is really fun. I don't know. It's just fun to me whenever someone's like, I didn't kill in my comm, and I'm like, well, you had meter.
Yeah.
You could have done soup, and like, I didn't check, and I'm like, don't you know your combo well enough to check like 6 different times on screen? I just think it's funny.
But I don't think that's like a Smash thing. I think that's just a non-fighting game thing, right? If you aren't used to the mechanic existing, I don't think if you were
I guess, but I've had other players like from other genres like being able to. I think it depends on which genre you come from.
Yeah.
And what you have to look on the screen, because like in other games you might be able to, like, let's say you're playing, I don't know, PoE or something, where you have to like be on constantly watching everywhere. Maybe not PoE, but like, you know, a game where it really requires you to like always check your resources, always like have check on things. That might help. It's just a trend I found where it's like specifically meter management and just looking at your meters is usually not the thing that I find at least melee players do. But that's from my experience as well. And that's like, what, 6 people maybe? Maybe 7?
Yeah. I was just saying that, like, if you were to sit down your mother, who doesn't play games, and you're like, play Blaze Blue, she's probably only going to be looking at her character and its animations and nothing else.
Yeah,
and then you wouldn't be thinking like, oh, that guy doesn't look at his meter. What a fool! My mother's a fool.
My mother's a fool.
She must be a dirty melee player because she looks at only herself.
I wouldn't say that. Who
do you think? What fighting game do you think your mother would play?
None. I tried getting my mom into Ori, the Blind Forest, for fun. Because it was like, well, let's play a like cutesy game, because we played LA Noire, and she played for 30 minutes, got mad at the controls and said, this game's hard. And I'm like, it's not that hard, Mom. And she's like, son, I hate this. She's like, beautiful game, play it for me. And I'm like, all right. So we spent the entire evening just her watching me. I'm like, this game's beautiful.
Yeah.
But seriously, how do you do these things? And I'm like, all right, you're not like, you haven't played games for decades, so you don't have that like. It's the same when we played LA Noire, where I controlled the character and she just did the questions. She was like, how do you control camera? Like, because she doesn't have the instinct of like the 3D movement. Yeah. We can go to another question, I guess.
Yeah. Just one a tangent. She's dressed as Fox McCloud.
Oh, the back? Yeah, I don't know.
She looks very much like Fox McCloud. She has the green on the pants almost, and then she has the haircut and the tail.
Yeah,
Looks like flux.
I don't know. Blaze has very weird character designs in the background. There's one of the biggest likes about this game is actually the stages. The stages are lit, which means I'm gonna pick a better stage because we're on rollback.
Getting back to another question, or rather, I want to finish the thought. Was when you were talking about playing different games in the community, I'm going to say that I don't think it's just exclusively people also wanting to try stuff. I also think there's a really important point that has to be made about somebody consistently in a group of people keeping on playing something or asking people to play something, or and I'm going to use a tangent or not an analogy where we have in Smash Stockholm we have a guy Isa who usually brings board games.
Yeah.
And always asks people at the tournament, hey, you guys want to play board games? And most of the time, in the beginning, people were like, no, we're playing Melee right now, maybe later. And then maybe they do like a couple of games. But the more he is kept at it, the more people are interested in board games or Mafia or something like that, or chess, that they have become, at certain points, like side events. And I think the same thing could be said, which I think you should actually give yourself more credit for, in starting the FGC type community in Västerås, for you and this other guy Skuggfisk actually consistently trying to play fighting games at a Melee local, just to like...
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, like, it took a while to feel great about it, because, you know, you come there every week, like, maybe you'll have some small talk, and, you know, nobody tries, but if you keep it at it enough, like, sometimes people will notice, etc.
Yeah.
Like, it's a commitment to, like, also, you're just, God, I haven't played this character in a while, thank you, go. Like, you have to be consistent with it. I mean, that's why why Tekken died. Because we were consistent with it, and then, you know, some people were like, and then we just stopped. And that's like a problem if you want to have a specific game. Like you want to play a specific game, you have to commit to be like, hey, Dosette, but I want to play this game, etc. I tried, for example, to get the club during one of the last days we were open into DNF, which I think nobody hears.
What is DNF?
DNF Duel. It's a game made by the Marvel vs. Capcom 3 developers.
Okay.
About a Korean fighting game MMO.
Okay.
It's very easy, like pick up to play, and very good. And I got 2 members. I got Barba and someone else to try it because the beta was open and they had fun with it. So we might check that out later. Like, you have to just be willing to try games, or like, as you said, be dedicated to like showing people games as well. Because sometimes there's people who maybe want to try things or like want to show off a game. They're like, no one's gonna play it because, you know, it's new and different. And I think that's why, like, I'm going the way of like, I'll try anything because I know how it feels like to have your game ignored for like, no, 2 years. Not salty about it. No, not me, oh, I'm not salty. And then just have people one day just go, game cool, I'm dead, I think, etc. You just have to commit to it. And I think it's wonderful for people who actually like keep that commitment despite like maybe not having huge turnarounds in the beginning. Because if you let it grow, all right, try to grab or whatever. If you just keep at it and let it grow slowly, like anyone will probably join. It's also important to be kind, etc. Because I remember one time in Stockholm I tried to play, I think Third Strike, and people were just like, "Yo, shit," and I'm like, "Yeah, because I'm new." And like, "Don't play."
Yeah.
Etc.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be friendly to every single skill level and adapt. That's why I also maybe play so many characters, because I'm like, well, you know, because I don't want to play Jin and just be like, "Have you heard about Purple Throws?" And they're like, "What's a Purple Throw?" And I'm like, "Let me show you. Let me make you suffer." Like, you have to be, like, for example, when I started with Nino, I was like really basic.
Yeah.
So he could get into the game, etc. I mean, he's a fan of just systems overall.
Yeah.
But you have to be really kind. Same with like if someone wants to play Melee or Ultimate or whatever. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I think the inclusivity is like something that hasn't come up as much like when the FGC started, I feel like a lot of the time, at least that like the Dragon's Lair type gang, they were kind of assholes.
I've heard mixed opinions. I have mostly like I met some pro players there. Like one of them, I'm still actually heard about them from another pro player, and they inspired me because they were that kind of person. Because they played top tiers in BlazBlue. I think they were like top 50 in Europe or something, like really good. But I remember him just being really kind because I had a friend who wasn't like super kind. I remember asking him for a setup. He's like, "Why don't you understand?" And I'm like, well, I'm trying to understand why you keep hitting me. He's like, "You don't." I'm like, "Come on, like be helpful, or be like, hey, these are frames or whatever."
Yeah.
But that pro player was extremely kind, like overall, because he always told like, "Hey, this is what you do wrong. Like you're doing these things good." Then like marking that out, and I try to be the same whenever someone else plays.
Yeah, because like, what's the point, right?
Yeah.
What do you have to gain from being an asshole to people when you're winning?
Especially like against new people too.
Yeah, because it's like, what do you gain from, in melee terms, what do you gain from wobbling and then laughing at someone?
Yeah, exactly.
What's happening? It's not enjoyable for anyone. So I think for sure, at least I was speaking from the people who were hanging out at Dragon's Lair in the melee community. At least from one interview that I had, a player told me that they thought the community at that time wasn't very welcoming to new players and people who weren't as good at the game or whatever.
I mean, you kind of have to build a culture for that as well, because you can have the like, you know, where the pro gamers only, etc. But I feel like that's limiting, like especially new people, because I feel like both in our community, but like we need new blood.
Yeah.
And we can't get new blood if everyone's just like, shit, nice. Am I dead? No. Yeah, that's too fast. I can't say that. Like we need new blood who are able to enjoy games. I think like being welcoming overall with it, and you know, not just curb stomping, I'm actually teaching them. Helps. And especially if you have like, let's say you have a group of 3 people, and they all learn at different speeds, but you still like try to approach them like in a very friendly way, coaching, etc. It makes them stay as well, because that's also like a problem, which I experienced for Melee, where it was hard for me to motivate because I'm only meeting killers. How the heck, like, I'm getting, I don't know, 4-stocked 16 times.
Yeah, you have to be able to find goals that are suitable for your level, that aren't about beating someone.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I want to be able to do this setup or this combo or something. It could still work no matter if you're playing as a super good player or not, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, I have no goals for Melee currently, except for I'll play it whenever it's at the club, and somehow I'll slowly improve.
Yeah.
But that's just okay. Backdash, no, good for etc. Let's see.
But you mentioned a lot of fighting games now that we've just been talking. I think you've named like names of at least 6 different fighting games.
20 on Steam.
That you have played. Yeah, and I was gonna ask you about that. What is it to, as a Melee player, I will say, we only play this one game, and we have been playing it since 2001. Why is there in the general FGC, in your opinion, that people swap games much more than we do?
Because they want to try. I guess it's because they want to try. They want to try different things, or just see. Like, it depends on what you enjoy, right? Because there's so much variety. Sometimes it's like, if we talk, for example, I played Under Night for over half a year, and I didn't touch BlazBlue at all. Because I was like, well, I love BlazBlue, but you know, like, nobody's playing it. I'm gonna try this Under Night game, which I tried once, and I got sucked into that. And that game offers very cool system mechanics. In my opinion, it has one of the best system mechanics like ever in design. But it's also a game where it's like, if you don't like long block strings or people rebeat, like, the game has a weird canceling system where in BlazBlue you go up a ladder, you go A, B, C, D. But in Under Night and Melty Blood specifically,
What does that mean? What does that mean?
For example, if I would do, I'm gonna try it on my, like, I can do A, B, C, and then D, but I can't go back. Like, I can't do this kick to jab.
So in general, every combo is an A, B, C, D.
Yeah, you do different things depending on the combo. Like, the easiest would be like B, C, forward C, maybe a special move, and then you continue on from there.
Okay.
Like, specifically in BlazBlue. But in Under Night, you can rebeat your pressure. So if I do, let's say, a big ass, like this one, like this, which huge recovery, I could technically cancel all that recovery. Oh, nice. Into a jab to mitigate it, and then dash forward and keep my pressure. Which means that block strings gets hella weird. because in Blaze Blue there's definite ends to your block strings, but in Undernight there's so long and you can rebeat kind of whenever you want as long as you haven't used the option, and it just makes the pressure interesting because there's like, for example, Lawmayer plays a character named Yakia who has really long pokes. Like, I hate those pokes. Those pokes makes me sad, and he could just rebeat it into a jab during his block strings, and if you try to counter poke, or if you know how to counter poke them, you'll just get like frame trapped. You'll immediately take the poke because you're like, well, he did a jab, he should be minus, and he's like, here's a big poke. You can't poke me from these ranges, and it just makes, in my opinion, it makes, in my opinion, the combat interesting overall. Because in Blaze Blue, as I said, there's definite ends to the block strings, but in Undernet you can kind of like create your own pressure that isn't set by extreme limitations. And I'm not dead. But you're. Okay. You're dead? No, you're not dead, but you're dead.
I don't remember what that's called in Melee, but there is a mod you can do on like PM and stuff where everything cancels into everything.
Yeah.
It's called like Turbo mode, I think. Turbo. So I guess, is that the mechanic you're describing, where like an animation can be cancelled into another animation?
Yeah, specifically, I mean, we differentiate buttons in fighting games by either normals, which are the buttons you press on the stick for your hitting, and then specials, which requires a quarter circuit, etc. And in Undernight, you can basically cancel all normals into each other. Like, you can do B, C, A, or up, down, or whatever. Let's go back to...
so it would be like if you could cancel a forward tilt into a jab.
Yeah, exactly, to just make it safe. Like, imagine Marv being able to, like, forward tilt, and instead of being, like, minus, you could just be like, jab.
Yeah.
And then he dashes back, and you're like, I hate this. Etc. It also has a nice meter mechanic, which...
Doesn't that just make the game extremely defensive?
It can be. It has extremely good option selects and defensive options, because it has, like... most defensive options in that game are really good. You can also like do option select throws, etc. Like, it has a good... also backdashes in that game is good, because most fighting games where you backdash you have invulnerability, and in Undernight they're really good backdashes. You can also like dash block with a macro, so you can run forward and immediately block if someone does a low, for example, etc. So defense isn't like that bad. And also, even if I say like the pressure is infinite, like obviously there are dead points. It's just that in Undernight it's very long, and that's for some people that's hella, like, it turned them off the game because they feel like, well, the game's good, like combos excellent, like gameplay excellent, but they're like, these block strings though. Like, I don't want to sit and think for like 6 hours about how the hell I'm blocking. I just want to play the game. Like, I want to not get beaten into the corners like I am getting looped. That's why some people like say Guilty Gear Strive over the older Guilty Gears, because they're like, well, combos are short, and I think the art is pretty, and meter mechanics are like interesting, and I don't have to learn the most hardest things in life forever just to play a basic character.
Yeah.
So it's like different tastes for different folks. But if we go back to the original question of like why there's so many fighting games, it's just people design. Like, you have people who only play Marvel, you have people who play Skullgirls, etc.
Yeah, but why do people switch?
I think they just want to... For me, it was just because I'm interested in like seeing what exists on the market. Like, Undernight was, for me, when I got into it, it's just because our dear friend Drummis. He just logged into his PSN account. I was supposed to borrow a game, and he was like, well, it's on PS Plus, it's a fighting game. Just try it. And I just, without thinking, I'm like, yeah, it's a fighting game. I should enjoy this. And I think I played it for like an hour, and then I said, I don't understand this game, because the first game didn't have a tutorial at all. I do love my games with a tutorial. Mail doesn't have one, sadly. It has a lot of good content, though, which I do enjoy. But once the tutorial came out, I really sat down and went like, okay, this is what I'm learning. But I've played, Undernight, Blaze Blue, Guilty Gear, specifically because it's another Arc System Works fighter, because it's the same company. So it was also... And also I had... I'm going to call some people out. I had some people just immediately, whenever I said I played Blaze Blue, they're like, you're playing the pee-pee-poo-poo, not the Guilty Gear game. You know, the one that isn't good, because it's not Guilty Gear. And I'm like, Blaze Blue's like all right. And they're like, no, game bad, because because they got hacked. But I just try different games. Like, I just like trying different games. I don't know why specifically. Like, I think people also want to find their flavor. Like, for example, if VFGC Havre is here, and I played, we played Street Fighter for a long while, 5. But the game that really makes him go, oh, hell yeah, is Plus R. Because they just tried it. I think Smushmarf was just like, well, Guilty Gear seems fun. And then played Plus R. And then they just kept playing and we're like, why is this game deep? Why is this game insane? Why are you good at it? Because I hadn't played Plus R. We all started to get it at the same time. But you know, me playing Xrd, because another Arc System Works fighter, because I played Xrd, I knew how to play Guilty Gear. I'm like, what? They're like, why are you good? And I'm like, I've been here for 10 years in other games. But I think people just like different tastes. Like, I do enjoy engrossing me in a game, like BlazBlue. But I also think it's nice to just, I don't know, try different things. It makes my brain think different as well. I mentioned that before, where it's like, if I play BlazBlue, I think about certain things. If I play Street Fighter, I have to think about certain things.
Yeah.
I just think, for me, it just activates different parts of my brain where I can test things. Like, if I play Street Fighter, I have to really think about how the hell I'm walking slowly like this, to top kick, crouching, medium kick, etc. But if I play, like, Skullgirls, it's more like, how am I blocking these mix-ups? Where are the 50-50s, etc. And I just think it's nice to see what other games offers. I mean, I like Arcana Heart, but that's an insane game that I would love to deep dive in, but it's it's hard and very weird.
But like, to me also, I feel like these games are pretty niche when it comes to the community, but maybe that's just because I don't know
Kind of like
as much.
I think some communities are like, I know, like, usually if you have like an anime fighting game community, you'll obviously have that one guy, right? Like, you had me in the club who were like, BlazBlue good, and everyone's like, you're stinky, like, stop. But in the anime community, it can be like, I've had gone, like, when I remember Light Dash, I don't remember it being that way. Like, everybody played, like, everybody had their niche, sure, but it was never, you know, like, oh, those are the Tekken players. Yeah, they got their stinky corner there. Here we are with the superior Street Fighter 4. Like, it can feel, I guess it can feel like that, because in Melee specifically, like, you know, everybody loves that one game.
Yeah.
Because there's only really one game to love, unless, I don't know, you like both Ultimate and Melee at the same time, and like are a proponent for both games.
Yeah.
But from what I know, not many people are like that. Maybe. But I do feel like it depends on the community as well, because I know, like, in America there's a lot of communities with mixed. I mean, we have our different tournaments as well, like Frosty Frosting, for example, in America is very much centered around Arc System Works games like Guilty Gear, BlazBlue, etc. But they do host other things, like I think Skullgirls has a tournament there, etc. Because they're like, hey, this is kind of like anime aesthetic-ish, etc. And I think it depends on like what you offer at tournaments. Will also bring like people around as well, because I mean, Evo, for example, has all these side tournaments, which I heard some people like more than the main tournaments, because they're like, hey, I get to show my game on stream, which is hella cool, like the Sailor Moon game, which, honestly, why would you play that? I'm kind of judging you. I fucking mean, but I hate this. Which, like, no, nice try. We're just getting killed by ship. We're like, this game's bad, but like, I just like that there are niches for everyone, and I think also that you can cross over to other things if you have if you have the interest, or sometimes it just happens. You know, like with Melee, like. Why did I start Melee? Because people at the club were like, hey, come play with us. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, well, I'll be bad. And then slowly over time, it's like, Melee's fun too. Etc. I think this question has gone, unless you've gotten your answer.
No, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah.
How do you feel the different fighting games have been, or rather like this, which fighting games have seemed to be the easiest to adapt to for newcomers?
It depends on the newcomer. Like, it depends. Like, you can always pick up like citation marks. I'm gonna get flagged by this, but like, easier game, Guilty Gear Strive, baby, people mode. Like, you can build them. Like, you can show them like Grand Blue or say Street Fighter, which isn't mega difficult in my opinion, because I play these games with too many systems. Like, it depends on the person, because some people really just want to play footsies. Like, they just want to be on the ground, walking forward and back, doing crouching medium kicks, throwing a fireball, and knowing like, this is how I control space. And maybe Street Fighter is good for them. Some people like really love the anime aesthetic, go like, BlazBlue looks cool, I want to try that. Like, Lom over here, where I'm playing, has been going on and off in BlazBlue for like years. I don't know how many times I've had like Discord calls where he's like, I hate this game move bad, I'm not superior because of these things, and I'm like, cool, bro. That's fine. That's your opinion. Like, it's all right. But then he realized later when he picked up this character as an Amid, he was like, game's actually sick. Like, game's actually sick. And sometimes it's characters, sometimes it's systems. But for newcomers, I usually recommend like whatever. Like, I'm gonna go a little bit what Sagen says, where it's like pick whatever looks cool to you. And then try it. Like, at least try it and see if it gels with you. For actual beginners who are like, I have never touched a fighting game ever, like, whatever your first fighting game is, you're probably gonna enjoy it, unless it's, I don't know, unless you, I don't know, in a Discord call with someone with 6,000 hours, who just goes like, it's time for me to teach you how to be God, and you're like, no, shit's gonna suck, like, I'm gonna get pulled in the corner. So I think, to enjoy a game, you have to have some people who want to play it. In my opinion, a good coach or someone who can at least oversee and explain things. And then just the game itself. Like, people will crowd over a game if it's played, like, as you said, if it's consistent. People will come to the game and be like, yeah, I'll try this sooner or later. For actual games for new people, I'd say if you like moving a lot, then Tekken. Because Tekken has very good ground movement, Soul Calibur as well, which people don't talk about. For meter stuff or mechanics, I'd say Blaze Blue or older Guilty Gears, because they're very character focused. You can really feel that. In Street Fighter, some characters can feel very samey, just because how slow the game is designed. And I think that's why I gravitated toward these games, like anime games, because each character feels like sure, you have commonalities with canceling, but every character in Blaze Blue, for example, has their own system in a way with the drive. And that for me is appealing, because I'm like, holy shit, every single character I get to learn something like extremely new or try. Okay. You can't block. Because Nami can't block while she has the nodes out.
Oh.
But she can shoot projectiles and still press you, and it shit sucks. No one's riding a chat, that's nice. But yeah, that's like easier games, Street Fighter, Tekken, and then whatever is cool to you, in my opinion. Just check out what people like and want, and also just have players in it.
Do you think that your start with doing Street Fighter Supers was the best to introduce you to fighting games?
Kinda, like, I just wanted to do the cool thing, right? I didn't know anything about fighting games. I didn't research either, because I was a little bitch. Like, when I joined a DreamHack tournament in 2011 or something, it's one of my most embarrassing experiences. When I'm there on stream, I'm on an Xbox controller, and the commentators are bullying me.
Yeah.
Because they're like, this kid, I was like, what, 15 or something?
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly. But I remember the tournament, like, I had fun, even though I got bullied. I managed to get around from a pro player, because he accidentally jumped up. We were playing Seth mirror match. I just did a super, and like, is it gonna kill? And I killed, and I'm like, and I can just remember my face just be like, yes, I did something. I wasn't useless. But then, like, afterwards, I don't know, I just liked playing, because I played a lot against single people. I didn't seek out challenges until way later in my life, when it comes to like actually playing people, because I'm a scaredy cat. Because I don't want to ping Discord and be like, hey, can anyone play me? Because I don't want to feel annoying, etc. Even though I do enjoy playing with people. I'm not there. Why did you drop this? Etc. Let's see. Combo time. Super.
Yeah, but so the first event you ever attended was that DreamHack Street Fighter tournament?
Yep.
Because I remember you joining that when we were at DreamHack. Very long ago.
Very, very long, like over 10 years.
Yeah. And you say that the experience was so-so. It was fun getting that game, but
like for me, I was nervous as hell, because, you know, I was like 15. I was still bad at the game. Like, bad depends on who you ask, but I was still a newbie. And I think after tournament, when I started playing more at school, Isaac, who got me into Blaze, like, he was the one who like started being like, yo, do you want to just come over to my house and just play for like 6 hours straight? I'll teach you things. And then it later became one of his friends, and etc. And that's how I really got into like playing against actual other people than just sitting in combo and being like, I look cool doing my combos, which aren't even optimized. No, fuck.
Yeah, because that was what I was interested in when I watched you play, is that you played for years almost, where it was literally just you doing combos.
Yeah, because I thought it was fun, like fun execution challenges.
Yeah.
And then I played Michael in BlazBlue until Netcode died,
Yeah.
or etc. Like that was how I started.
Yeah.
I mean, I started because people in school played. Like I don't remember, was his name Eric Sosas?
Yeah.
Because he played BlazBlue, and then he became like the person I played with for a while.
Yeah.
And then it became Isaac, and then I had a very long break when Isaac, because he said that he was going to quit fighting games. He was like, well, you know, I got my other shit, like I'm out of high school. He gave me my first actual stick, or my second stick, which is it's actually at the club. I actually kept it as a memento.
Yeah.
It's a good stick, but Jesus Christ. But he gave it to me, and I felt prideful for that, because I was like, this is a cool stick. He's like, he told me he was gonna throw it away, and he's like, but I remembered you, and I think you'll keep playing fighting games.
Yeah.
It's like, I know you will keep playing and become good, so you want to buy this stick for, which cost like, I don't know, at that time, like 2.5k.
Yeah.
He's like, you can buy it for 200 or something.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it was double owned, but like it was still a very.
What the hell is going on?
That I activated overdrive, which gives you invulnerability. So he tried to do a super to be like, haha, I'm gonna hit you, and I'm like, no.
I see.
It's mechanics.
Mm.
But after that, it was the long year break of like, well, I was together with was when I was with Alex, but I still played fighting games. Like thinking back on it, like even when I was living with Alex and everything, I still played fighting games. Like I remember taking time off work to play the Persona fighting games.
Yeah.
Like I literally called my chief up, or they called me, they were like, yeah, we need help moving. And I was like, I have like 60 hours of paid overtime. I'm just gonna stay home and play video games. And she just sighed in the phone and went like, fair. Have fun.
Yeah.
And then I just played the Persona Fighter for like an entire day.
Yeah.
But even then, like I had no one to play with. I played a little bit with people, and then I stopped. But that game also had Persona characters, so that helped for me.
Yeah.
And then I was like, woo, system mechanics.
Yeah.
Let's enjoy. But like meeting actual people was probably VFGC
Yeah.
who like came in. And then when the COVID happened as well,
Yeah.
where I wasn't like on stream or like on the side, just being bad. I think I won COVID. I took one game of Boris's Roy, and that was the biggest upset the entire tournament. Is that I took a game with
Not even a set.
not even set. No, not even set. It was just
Yeah.
game. Just one game.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
Oh shit.
They're like Havre took a freaking game.
Yeah.
Like, no, we do. And then every single like monthly we had, I just kept competing, and right now, as I am right now with fighting games, it's like I'll probably, I don't know, in how I see life, I'll probably play these games until I die, because that's just how passionate I am about them. Like obviously I'll take breaks, like I took the BlazBlue break, for example, where I played other things, etc.
Yeah.
Because I think also taking breaks is important. I'm specifically talking to my opponent who didn't take a break for a while and just kept playing even though he was miserable, and I'm like, just gotta take a break. You can't play this forever and feel horrible playing the game. Sometimes you just gotta chill, take a look of like, what do you want to do, and then super? No, okay, fair enough, etc. But these days I'm just like, as soon as the club comes up, I am gonna compete. Like I have been thinking, once I have a job and money, to actually go compete in other tournaments.
Yeah.
Because I miss going to tournaments with VFGC.
Yeah.
Because they went to, was it Gothenburg?
Yeah.
For an ultimate tournament. I just remember watching the VOD being like, why wasn't I there?
Yeah.
Like I felt a bit sad, but also hyped just watching the games.
It's just nice to travel and do something else also.
Yeah. Like I do remember you told me like, hey, you could come to Smash thing, but I was like, no, I'm not interested. But
Yeah.
I think now where it's like, if I had the money, I would be like, yeah. When we going?
Yeah.
What? Fair enough.
Before Rona, there would be so many tournaments where I'd just travel for, like, I didn't really care about the tournament too much. It was just a fun time to be able to like go with friends on a trip and like do something together,
Yeah, and just have a grand time.
Yeah. But I was actually going to ask you about that because I don't know are there any or a lot of
Swedish like major or larger tournaments in fighting games? Or how's the
See, this is the problem with me. Since I don't have check on communities like
Yeah.
at all. I wouldn't say I've heard. Like you can always go into Smash GG and I see something. I think there's bigger ones in Norrland, for example.
Yeah.
Like in the northern region, so I'm like hell yeah, or Skåne.
Yeah.
For example, like it exists. I mean that's why we at VFGC like tried our monthly so hard because we're like, hey, we are the middle point of like 2 regions.
Yeah.
Because we have people from Skövde as well just joining because they're like, we got nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
And then someone from Borlänge is like, we got nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
Which is actually creating problems for our club, whatever. Since we accommodate so many players. And it was just nice during the peak of like, I think we had an ultimate tournament of like 36 or something. Like, at least like 20 plus. And it was just nice seeing, people from every single like, different walks of life, different regions just coming together and be like, yo, we battling out.
Yeah.
I was TOing that because I can't play Ultimate. I'm shit.
No.
Melee, I can play.
Fuck Ultimate. No, sorry, Ultimate kids.
It's
sorry.
fine.
Ultimate's fine. I just don't.
I mean, it's not your jam, right? I mean,
No.
I say the same to like, what fighting game do I really, really, really don't like? Star fighting game I really hate.
The forced delay just kills it for me. The way that everything has a fucking delay on it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It just makes me feel nauseous.
Yeah, I understand that. Like, it's the feel of the game, right? Like how it feels. I've heard that from some people who play this. Where like, it's not responsive as the old Guilty Gear because blah blah blah. And I'm like, I can get that. Same when I play Tekken, because Tekken has strings instead of cancels.
Yeah.
We have to like predeterminedly input your strings.
Yeah.
And I think it works, but it's a different feeling. I'm getting hacked,
Yeah.
etc. But yeah, money, go tournaments, good. That's the short summary. I would like to compete more and actually do things. I have been slowly, thanks to Lama as well, he invited me to EE Open. I think we played like against the Valkanine for like 3 hours. And I gave some tips back, or Lama wrote tips for me because we were in Discord call. It was like, who's doing this? And I'm like, well, he should be doing this, like, etc. And also having the positive attitude of like, never feeling sad. Or not never feeling sad, but I've played for so long that like negativity of like I suck, it doesn't really exist anymore.
Yeah.
For me, it's like I'm bad. If I'm doing bad, I'm like, okay, these are fixable things.
Yeah.
For the most part, it's not like I'm the worst player. It's mostly like, okay, I did a bad option here because I thought of these things. Like I didn't check the meter, or like now where I checked meter and knew that was gonna happen. Because that's usually what Lama does. And I fuck my combat. No, I want you to block down, eat this overhead, throw. No, good. There we go. Etc. Jump. Like just learning that. Where the hell am I? My head is all over the place. Give me off this tangent.
Yeah. I honestly don't know where you were going with the thing.
Yeah.
But it was something
Alright.
along the lines of talking about how different strokes for different folks when it comes to games.
Yeah.
I think was how it started.
Yeah. Welcome to my brain. Yeah. But different strokes, like, it just appeals to different people.
Yeah.
Etc. It's like, it's like ice cream.
But you know what interests me though is that you play Melee now.
I do.
A little bit.
Hello, I play occasionally.
This interests me.
Hell yeah, it does, because you've been hounding me for Melee for like ages.
But I don't feel like I have.
Well, you didn't really, right?
Because I have been, I think, one of the coolest Melee playing friends in that I have not told you to play Melee with me ever unless you wanted to.
Yeah, that is true. You were fudge. Nice one. Nice rapid.
I never tried to bring up Melee at all.
Yeah.
Unless you brought it up or somebody brings it up in my vicinity, I don't say that we can play Melee because I understand that people don't want to play that game all the time.
Yeah.
Or with someone like me who plays it a bunch and they don't play it at all. And I feel like it, if we're gonna bring back to like the thing of consistently being open for something, like before when I started playing Melee, none of my friends wanted to play with me, similar to you with your fighting games, where it's like you could maybe try it one time, but it was never like I'll join again or whatever.
Yeah, like I'll try it again.
Yeah, but the longer my life has gone and I've kept staying in the Melee community, the more of my friends have been like, yeah, maybe that Melee thing's kind of fun. Could you show me something? or at least like, I've been thinking about playing that a bit. Or do you want to just play 3v1 or something like that?
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of funny how like sometimes if you play a game that nobody is into, just keeping on playing that game can have the effect on other people, which is sort of strange in a way.
Can't get away with that, Llama. I'm gonna punish that.
But that's like a super tangent. And the thing I'm interested in, however, is how did it feel TOing in VFGC?
Very good.
Yeah.
Like most people there were helpful, like because I didn't TO before, right? Until I came to VFGC. My TO role was essentially you're the guy who knows anime games. So whenever you have an anime fighter or Street Fighter, you fix that shit because we don't melee, etc. So my TO experience is very limited compared to like say May or whatever who's like done for years, or Hope who's also done for years. So my TO experience was mostly be like, you know, I count the rounds to have, I don't know, 4 players in Street Fighter, but once it became more and more, I had to, you know, seed and think about things, and finally like getting a grasp of like, it also helped a little bit, especially in Street Fighter, where I was like, me and Boris were consistently number 1, unless we had a guy from Stockholm coming and whooping our asses once. We're like, oh shit.
Who was the guy from Stockholm?
I don't remember his name. I'll call Henrik to remember his name. I don't remember his name. He played Bison, and Bison. And he was really good at that specific patch as well. But he was also also nice, just a nice player overall. Like really kind, helped you, everything. But as the TOing went on, it's also because I grew more confident with it. Because you know, TOing for the first time, like having to seed and fix things and not make spelling mistakes, which people will bully for you for or whatever. Like it can be daunting. But I think like TOing is like on a higher level where you have like 50+ player, TOing is hard. Like I'm not gonna dispute that at all. Like shit's difficult. On a lower level where I know like your clubs may be small or whatever, like it's not super difficult. Like it takes a little while. You have to be a little bit confident, but it doesn't take long to like, you know, like if you TO let's say once every week, and like maybe the first weeks you're like, yeah, I know what you fuck up, like you made, I don't know, a spelling error, you seeded wrong. You don't enforce your rules, which I think is something that happens sometimes. You're gonna get hit. You can't block. What are you gonna do? Where you don't enforce your rules, or like, you know, keep sets up as well. Like one of the worst things you can have as in TO is like we had someone like, you know, not come to a match or whatever. And you're like, oh my god, please. And just being
delays the entire bracket.
Yeah, exactly, because you're wasting everyone's time. And just being consistent with that, because I know some places where it's like, some places I say is like, I have been to many places, but like I've heard like, you know, the horror stories of like, well, our top player just went to the bathroom and then they took a weed smoke and then it never came back, and it delayed the tournament for so long that everybody got sad. And I tried to, at least when ITO, to avoid that, and just having helpers as well. Like for VFGS, for example, we would employ a system where it's like we always have 2 TOs, because even if I'm the anime guy, like someone else with a little bit of experience could at least like, you know, help me,
or
like
started or something.
Yeah, or I don't know, maybe I'm dying in the bathroom because of my stomach. Like, you can't be like, well, we gotta wait for like 6 hours for this guy to die in the bathroom, and then we can start. And it was like, why have a bus to cash or like, whatever. Like just having a support system of another TO, I think just helps. Because then also, if I'm sick, they can take over, etc. It just helps. But like I said, my TO experience has been, I tried starting a few online tournaments. Some have been successful, and some where it's just like people are like, it's on a Saturday and I'd rather play Minecraft or, you know, chill. And you're like, well, didn't work this time. But we shall see now that the restrictions are slowly getting, not eradicated, but like they're being removed for now. And see if we can get the club up running, because our new locale is actually pretty nice.
Where is your new venue?
It's kind of funny because we moved away from VFGC. We were before to the dance locales by Max. And we're back at VFGC. We're just in the basement, which I find funny because that's kind of how like that is.
Gamers in the basement.
It's an old like music room, I think. Or something. Can I backdash? Thank you.
Is the venue bigger now?
It's kind of. It is slightly like, it's better shaped in my opinion, because the old one was like a rectangle. but now we have a square where you have at least 4 setups in this area, and then we have the computer where it isn't shown. So we could easily plug in like a stream for say Melee.
You have like
or
a stream room kind of.
Yeah, kind of. We have like a stream corner rather.
Yeah.
Where we can set up streams, and we've also already like fixed the what's it called, the capture card and everything. So we can just plug into either a big TV for like fighting games like a PS4, or we can just plug in Melee, which most people want to stream.
Yeah.
So once we get that up, we're able to do streams and such, which would be nice because I have been thinking since I do not want to be perfect. I think I'm going to be perfect because my mind is somewhere else. Oh, because I love Profiles Projectile. Oh no. I'm ashamed. I should not play this game. But once the club gets up, I'm going to be hype about it as much as I can. I mean, my life, it's everywhere currently. But I do want to do things and stream more. Like a thing I personally want to do, if life goes a little better, is to actually stream. I don't know what, but I do enjoy. I mean, I enjoy talking to people. I do enjoy trying things. I did stream once before and crashed my computer. I don't think I just want to try something. And if I can start a little bit by doing club streams and learning, that would be fun. It's also beneficial for the club. Nice button. What are you doing? I'm getting hacked. Bonk, full combo. Side swap. Corner, etc. But I do hope as soon as the club starts up that pace will pick up. I am still the chairman, and I do trust my members to do a very good job and take the club where it needs to, because as mentioned earlier, we need new blood. And how to get new blood? By visibility, by maybe streams, etc.
What are your plans to get new people in?
That's a very good question that I would like to take up after the yearly meeting, because board members are going to be switched. I'm probably not going to be chairman, for example, because of my personal situation and such. I'll still be there and be that weird anime guy in the corner, as I've always been. But we shall see. We might also get help from actually Festival Stall as well. It's in the talks at least. Because they approached us and went like, hey, we can help.
Yeah, I'm just interested in how you would go about bringing in new people, because that's always going to be the eternal question of because all of the games are slowly dying. At least in Melee and in these games that BlazBlue that has been out for a while, the game's gonna slowly diminish in the amount of players. Because people will just switch to the new game or try something else or whatever.
Yeah.
So bringing in new people to play something old is always quite a challenge, and that's why I'm interested in what do you have what measurements you have tried or will try to get more people involved.
It's just consistency. For me, it's just consistency, because the appeal of an older game, in my opinion, compared to new, new games are fun, right? It's like the new shiny toy. But an old game, to me, it's like a comfort food. At least for me, BlazBlues, because I'm hooked to these games for over 10 years. But getting people into old games is to first teach them that okay, it's old, it has some legacy stuff, but it's not impossible to learn. And here's what this game offers. If I would try to sell someone, let's say they had played Strive, Guilty Gear Strive, and they're like, well, I really like Strive, but I think it's a little bit slow. What Guilty Gear do I play next? For example, then maybe I'll go, okay, here's plus R. It has these things you might enjoy. Maybe you will try this character, which is not as fast-paced, but has these things instead. And for old games, it's also important to just, we talk. Am I dead? No, I'm not. Okay, I activated wrong, right? For old games, it's just consistency as well, and just being open with resources too, because one appeal of the new game is that everybody's talking about it, It's the hype factor. That's what happened with Strive. Everyone's like, yo, Strive's the OG new fighting game, while you have old gamers be or old gamers. Some people who played for Legacy long be like, oh, these things don't exist. My cancels and etc. Which is fair critique, but I think it's also it sours the mood for both the old game and the new game. By constantly always comparing this version was better than why. Melee doesn't have that problem because what patch?
Yeah.
There's one patch.
Yeah.
And that's the one everybody plays. But for BlazBlue, I mean, you could have someone be but third game better. Let's play third game, etc. But in Blaze Blue's defense, I think just the fourth game is just the best.
Yeah.
Like, sorry if your character got fucked by the tier list, but that's just life in this game specifically. But for old games, it's just showing it as well, because sometimes you have people are like, well, sometimes graphics sells, and sometimes it's just seeing the community itself. Like, if we're having a good time playing Blaze Blue, and just seeing like me and Kevin just be like, you're doing these options, or like I learned this, like seeing how we talk about the game, and how we revolve around, they might be like, that might look cool. Like, okay, they seem to talk about it.
Yeah.
Because there's a difference between like, you know, me and Kevin sitting silent in the corner playing this game, and we're like, this is the game, do not touch.
Yeah.
It will make your fingers cry because you can't do quarter circles or whatever. But just having the talks about it, and then just trying to see if people are interested in, you know, sometimes the game grows on you. Like this game grew for a lot of people. Once it came to the freaking Switch, people were like, oh, because 3 people played it, etc.
I'm actually thinking about like, this is a super tangent, but maybe people find it enjoyable. I'm thinking about how like other independent, like what's it called? Förening. What's it called in English? Associations. That's not what it's called. Whatever. Organizations or independent organizations or whatever. Like, if I'm thinking back to how do like people get other people into like. For instance, I don't know, tennis.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people got their introductions to a sport through either family, which of course you can't, but through school. I feel like a lot of people actually got an introduction.
I mean, sports, right? You have gymnastics or whatever.
Yeah, and I actually thought about maybe it would be an interesting idea to like have some sort of initiative to. Like young, like at gymnasiums or something, so people are at least older, because fucking getting like grade school kids and being like, hey, you want to play games with us? That could be kind of weird.
Yeah.
But teaching people like, or showing people that the community exists might actually help bring people into the games that otherwise maybe wouldn't have joined, you know?
Yeah, it's also just nice to see that there's a community. Like, if you are on the fence of fighting games, you're like, I think these games look cool, but you know, there's no one playing it in my circle.
Yeah.
It might be nice to have a community just be like, hey, yo, come play with us, and then like it brings more people in slowly. Especially if the community is like active, it has good standard, it has good rules, like people there are friendly, etc. And you know, everybody's like maybe not like super jolly because you know everybody can't like everyone, but still like everyone's having a good time.
Yeah.
And it shows, and not also like having any like that's a nice thing I like about at least the FGC, which is there's never been like I've never been called something silly because I play these games. And it's never they've never been like you're a stinky anime player or like why do you play these weird games? It's always been like, okay, that's your type of games and it's cool that you play them. If we do, maybe we don't understand them, like keep playing these games because they look cool. And over time they just you know get interested in it. And for new people, if we're talking like how to bring new people in, just having, as you said, a spotlight on the community. It's also like trying to just show people the games as well, or like, you know, hosting a mock tournament at a school where there's like no stakes and people can just, you know, play a tournament for fun because people like being competitive, etc. Or depends. I'm dead. Depending on the people. Like I know, for example, that one of our members was suggesting to actually host a tournament at a high school, for example. Which also like brings people to see the game, experience the tournament, and, you know, just having a fun time. Because sometimes when you say tournaments, people are like, that's the people who try hard.
Yeah.
And all they do, I sit and brief this game every single millisecond.
Yeah.
Which isn't true.
So much about winning and stuff like that.
Yeah, where it's more like, no, you go there to have fun. If you lose in the brackets, that's okay, because you can go and play casuals or learn things or talk to other people who didn't do so great and just be like, oh, how was your experience? Maybe we're on the same skill level. Do you want to play?
Yeah.
Like, or maybe like they see a good player and like, hey, like, because I think also like a thing that helps new players is just teaching them that talking to other players and asking for help is okay. Because that's the thing I felt really horrible at when I went to Light Dash, because I, you know, was scared of cat. Because I thought like if I asked a question like how does this set, like how do I beat this setup, I would just be laughed at. Because they'll be like, haven't you read the wiki and all 16 pages? Haven't you read like this on my Discord? But instead, I was met with the pro player who actually like, taught me things. It was like, well, you do these things good, but for this setup, you can try thinking this way.
Yeah.
And that's just helped like me get motivated instead of getting hacked.
Yeah.
So just having that sort of conversation with the new players as well, so they also start like, you know, seeing a little bit of the depth of the game, but also teaching them like the game isn't like it isn't possible, you know. Like there is a way to beat these options, or like, okay, this is how this character works. I need to rethink. Like maybe you press the buttons a bit too far away, so you get whiff punished, or maybe I should get a little bit closer, or like, oh, they block high a lot. I noticed that pattern. Let me do a low, and then I hit the low. Like, I found the solution. And I think getting people into that mindset of just finding solutions, at least for me, it helped.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you can just get block stream forever and be like, I don't get to play. Big sad. And also, another important thing, it's that, I think I said before, but the skill levels. Of like, having people at similar skill levels, or at least if you're playing a player with a higher skill level doesn't exist, but skill level to just be like, at least for me as a high level player, it's my job to introduce people to the game. And that is not by like beating them to a pulp in a corner loop which they can't escape. It's to be the person who's like, well, let me play a character I don't usually play, like Hazama. I'm gonna suck a little bit with Hazama. Because then they both, I'm stealing this from Patrick Miller, who you probably don't know who he is. He's a organizer for Western Guilty Gear scene in California. But he's written a lot of articles during his lifetime about fighting games and mentality and coaching. And in one of his articles, he talked about how he got back into Xrd, for example. And he just talked about how the game, like how he had fallen out of the game when it started, and then came back, and he randomly played in a tournament and just sat with a friend who was like a real pro of the game and just exploring it. And then he realized like, I love this game. How do I get more people to play it? And like his journey through, what do I like about fighting games? How do I give this to other people? So he started hosting his own tournament. I actually follow him on Twitter and get the tournament notices every single time it is. He's like, it's Rev 2 day, baby. They even made I think an anime opening for one of the tournaments, actually. Just because he's just been building that community for so long. And I mean, they got new people in too. Like I've read where he's like, because he has beginner tournaments where he like only specifically for beginners.
Yeah.
Where, you know, like they all learn, etc. And then slowly they graduate as well to a higher tier bracket. And I think that's neat too, because
we've had a similar thing in Melee. It's called Arcadians, where like only people who haven't been ranked can enter.
Yeah, which would be me, because I'm the eternal unranker.
Yeah.
I'm secretly, 11th? Somewhere in one spreadsheet. Okay. Time to turn from the other side to the screen. This character's weird. It's Michael's old character. There we go. But yeah, tangents with my brain. But just having like a really friendly beginner scene and just helping people get into the games helps. It's very generic, but like I do believe that helps rather than having the pro player beating everybody down. Rather have a good time where you might lose but still feel, you know, like you're learning something, or at least you and a friend can be like, oh man, this character, we hate him. How do we beat this?
Yeah.
Etc. That's a bit more like not pro gamer dude stance, but you know, it helps. Because sometimes, I mean, I've heard the same thing from Melee where I just hear people like, oh, this character, I hate Peach.
Yeah.
I hate these floatings, or like your character Yoshi, where they're like, these double jumps.
Yeah.
The armor, I hate it. And then they bond over that, and then slowly they learn, like, they move on with life, but they also learn the thing.
Yeah.
And then just bond over that, and they're like, okay, but now I like beating Yoshi, etc.
Yeah.
Just building that sort of like, not wall, but like path road of improvement. But also having fun.
Yeah.
You cannot only improve, you gotta have fun, otherwise you won't.
Yeah.
That's why I'm still playing this game. And dying. Another question, I presume?
Yeah.
When I get in my ass in.
Have to understand what the fuck is happening.
I'm getting mixed. He did the setup, and that's a command grab, which freezes time. And I'm dead. I'm getting perfected, because it's not...
You're
frozen in time. So
frozen in time.
yeah, it's one of our like reversals on Wake Up.
Okay. She can reversal you by freezing you in time.
Well, it's a froze, so if you hold up or you do something that's invulnerable or you backdash, she whiffs and she's in count. She usually when you do supers in BlazBlue, you're in counter it state afterwards, so you can do the big shit. You can be like, hehe, fatal counter combo, E-tech.
Okay, a different question.
Yes.
Since you've played so many fighting games, if you were to combine aspects of different fighting games to create the perfect Havre Viking fighting game, which mechanics or which games would you like to blend together?
Oh, that's a good question. God, what would it be? I think it depends on my mood, because my first thought was BlazBlue and Under Night, because I think Under Night has excellent system mechanics, and BlazBlue has the wildest characters ever. Or there are other wild characters as well. Let's do Alexander Wright. Because Under Night I feel has the nicest system mechanics and one of the best tutorials for a fighting game, especially if you've never played them. While BlazBlue has the extreme meter mechanics of like, hey, you have your overdrive, which buffs up every character, etc. But it depends on what you're enjoying for. Like, because another part of me would be like, hey, Guilty Gear, like Strive's cancel system, the Roman cancels, which I find so enjoyable because they work the same as in the other games, or Rev specifically, Rev. But in Strive, you can dash cancel out of them, so I can do a hit on them. Because I presume you don't know what I'm talking about. No. Do you remember rapid cancels in BlazBlue, where you sacrifice 50 meter to cancel a move? Yeah. It's the same system. But in Strive, you can dash cancel from them. So if I hit a move and then cancel, I can move forward. I can move a cardinal.
Oh.
So you can do stuff like you Roman cancel from like a light hit, dash forward, grab. Okay. Or backwards if you think they're going to do a DP. And that system just gels with me. Yeah. Because in Strive, you can also use it in neutral. Which means we could be having footsies and I'm like, grab. Yeah. And you're like, of course, obviously, they can react and everything. Yeah. Get throw. But I just like that system because for me it gave freedom to like, hey, I can move while doing these cancels. And I think that's really neat. It's hard for fighting games because, as I said, it depends on my flavor. Yeah. Because this will always be this is my first log technically in fighting games, except for Street Fighter. But Street Fighter's another thing. What? You're dead. Etc. It's hard. And it's also like aesthetics. Do you like movement or whatever? Do you like games where you can block in the air? Like, yeah, there's so many factors. At least you're not like Kingdom Hearts, where you have what is the ridiculous description of the guide box where you're like, there are 300 different ways to play all characters, because it's you pick a character and then you pick an Arcana like a Persona in Persona. Yeah. And they all have different stats and gimmicks, and depending on which one you pick for which characters, you can do some really fucked up shit. Yeah. Like you sit there and you're like, why is this allowed? I just remember seeing the old Isaac and his friend playing it on Xbox. Apparently that's where all the Japanese were for some reason. They played on Xbox, which was unheard of. And I just saw them, playing the game and being like, "Hey Viking, this setup is really hecked up because you get chains." And I'm like, what? And then they show me and explains it, and I'm like, "Is this game allowed to exist?" Yeah. And I'm like, "Yeah, it's because we picked this specific thing for this character. But if I picked this other thing, I would change my entire playstyle. Yeah. Even though the character has the same tools. Yeah. It's like, what the." Play Kingdom Hearts or try it. It's a very interesting game. Yeah, let's switch characters because I can. But yeah, it's a hard question because I get this would be my choice. Yeah, with a little bit of Under Night because I do like that game. Yeah. Another question then, because did you just hover over a female character with large breasts and go? No. I do not enjoy the bust size of these characters, nor do I enjoy this character. This demon, I do not like this demon. She's very hard to play. Good set player. She's the one that puts umbrellas everywhere, right? Yeah. Also, she has the cool gimmick of wind. Yeah. Which makes her be able to shoot projectiles further, but also she can, if she does a jab, she can jump cancel it. So she starts jumping, and she can push the wind down and hit you with an overhead for 10 frames. Yeah. shit's hard to block.
Yeah.
Because you're like, well, this is 50-50. And she's just a really solid character. Good pokes, can really fuck. Like in the corner, you're like, I am stuck forever in these loops, etc. She's really good. Hard to play.
What are your next steps for fighting games as a whole? I know you mentioned a little bit that you're thinking about traveling.
Yeah, just for now, it's getting stability in my personal life first. But like, my biggest goal would be to actually attend a tournament and actually take it serious. Because I feel like for me, one of my biggest weaknesses in fighting games is that I haven't dared to adventure out because I've been pee-poo scared cat. Where I'm just like, no, I'm not good enough, or like, would I really enjoy it? But I realized, like, for example, playing Pip on Strive, like, really got me into like, I would like to compete in stream because I just had a fun time, like, both blasting him but also teaching him the game at the same time. Like, I really did enjoy that because he started to learn things too. I will never forget when he jabbed on my wake up and I did super, and he's like, I'm mad. It's like I'm molding. What is it? That's genius, but I'm molding. Yeah. Because he didn't check my meter, so I was teaching him like through just playing and doing it over and over again until he was like, I blocked this time. And I'm like sitting here like, hey, yeah, dude, you're doing the good shit. Yeah. But for tournaments, it would be do that with lower plays, but also just see, because I don't see myself stopping my growth. Yeah. At all for anything. Like right now, I'm sucking because I'm triple talking and having a monster slowly, but I don't see myself stopping to grow in these games. Same with Melee. Like, sure, I play Melee like seldom, right? But every time I play that game, I learn something new, or I notice something that I should be doing, or I just hear a Smushmorph just screaming in the background at me, being like, I've told you how to beat Nair for Captain Falcon. You have to crouch cancel, first hit, shield grab X. Every time, just do it. Or something, I don't remember exactly.
I don't think that's possible.
I think he said that. Think is the keyword. I'm not someone from VFGC.
I don't think he okay.
It was something Captain, because I think it's Captain Falcons. Yeah. Something with Captain Falcons there that at certain percentages you can crouch cancel.
Yeah, you can, but I don't think you can always react to it.
He's a different breed of a man because he says he can, but it's also what do we call him? Säkerhetsmannen. Yeah. Never does that unsafe option, and whenever we do, we're like, is this even him? Yeah. Is this the man you're looking for? But, aw, nice. I tried to grab him, he counter-grabbed me with this. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Yeah. Actually, he doesn't need to do an entire combo, but it's good that he does it so he can train his execution. He's also a keyboard player, this man. Insane man. But going back
Are you actually enjoying playing Melee?
I do. Like, for me, I do enjoy playing Melee. It's just hard for me to get into the mindset of like, I don't have the same enthusiasm for the game. Yeah. Maybe it's because I'm old and crusty. Or I'm like...
I think it's your crustiness level, specifically.
Specifically.
You're too crusty.
I'm so crusty. It's freaking... You can see my persona coming out. Like, it's freaking... No, but I think I enjoy playing Melee. Like, whenever I play Melee, I have a fun time. Yeah. It's... Occasionally I don't, but that's because I'm like... it's the classic of like... I'm meeting pro killers, and I feel like I'm getting hacked, and I don't understand. And then I'm like too tired to ask questions. Yeah. Because I don't want to be the guy who's like, well, could we... Like, I shouldn't be afraid of it, but sometimes like everyone's having a good flow, and I'm like, I don't want to pause this right now. Like, I'll just get beaten. But I always learn something in the end. Like, or I do the Havre specific dare, which everyone's like, how does this work? Yeah. It just worked, and they're like, why do you know you can do this? And I'm like, I just did it. Yeah.
Because it's interesting to me as somebody who I feel like in the general fighting game community does not enjoy playing Melee that much. It seems like a corner kid that people don't want to associate themselves with.
I can see that. Like, yeah, I can get that. But it's also like because of how some people talk about the game, which I feel is a shame because I do think the game's like. I'm not a proponent of the documentary at all. Because everyone else I've talked to, they're like, I saw the documentary. I got inspired to buy $1 million or like whatever. Like everybody who's talked about documentary are like, I got super inspired to play Melee because I watched it. Yeah. And I watched parts of it, but I didn't get anything. Like I was like, it's a good documentary, but there's nothing here for me. grab me. Maybe it's because I already found my niche as well. But I just started playing Melee for the club specifically because I was bored.
Yeah.
Like, it's not fun being that kid in the corner for half of the club time. So I just played by, hey, I need to do something else. I know this game is good because you were playing it a lot, which also signaled to me, like, there is something here, obviously, because Rev wouldn't be playing this game forever and talking about it and engaging in the community if it wasn't good. Is this a reset? Nice. Overdrive. I overdrived, and then you
destroyed.
Yeah, I'm gonna maybe depends on what it does. I should be no. I tried. Command grab. Nice. Yep, good. You have to throw Hawkman a lot because those parries are disgusting. But I just started playing Melee because I was bored, and then over time it just became like I learned more and more because I absorb things. I think that's one of the comments May said actually once, where it's like. Because we were talking about Leaf's growth, and it was specifically that Leaf has a hard time, at least then, like getting info in quickly. Like if May was like, you need to do this, it took some time, but according to her, I took it in immediately for some reason. If she said like, oh, you have to backdash this, or like, think about this, or like, hey, maybe you should dash back here. I just did it. Like I remember her teaching me power shielding, and she was like, well, it's gonna take you a while, and it took me like 2 tries.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, like, what? You haven't mastered execution. I'm like, I just tried. Because that's how I feel when I play these games. I just try things.
Yeah.
That's why apparently I'm good at this game, because I just have game feel rather than brain. And it's the same for me as well when I played. Like, I don't, I could do the classical route of like, I am looking up options, I'm learning, not frame data, but learning all the like, not cool data, but like these are usually the strategies you do, which I probably should for some. Why did you? Okay, whatever. You get hit. I don't know why. Like that, but since I've only been playing Melee, like as you know, I don't train Melee. I don't sit. I've set a little bit in Uncle Punch, and maybe trained L cancels at one point.
Yeah.
Which I'm still someone who's played for like 1.5 years, kind of semi off and off.
Yeah.
I still have a problem with it because I'm used to these games. The same with crouching. Crouch canceling for me is barbaric. For the specific reason that in BlazBlue, if you get hit while you're crouched, you take more hits done. So you can do longer combos.
Yeah.
So whenever they're like, I just crouch, bro, I'm just hearing my BlazBlue brain go like, no, you'll take more hits done. And Melee's like, but no, it's good because you don't get mega hit.
Opposite.
Yeah, exactly. It's the opposite.
Hits.
And I'm just and my brain just goes like, ooh, nice burst. You're dead. Oh, okay. Now? No. 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 Now. No. There we go.
Now?
No, but that's how I play this game. I just think like that in my brain entirely.
Yeah.
Every single interaction.
Yeah.
Where I'm yep, no, okay, all right, that option. All right. She hear me at club when I'm actually salty. When I say nothing, people are like, oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no. But for Melee, I don't know. I do enjoy playing the game. I do occasionally go to unranked just to test myself. And occasionally, if people are playing Melee, like I think I played Barbara once, I was like, yeah, let's just play.
Yeah.
Because like I said, if nothing, like usually I'm in a good mindset of like, even if I get beaten, I will have a good time. I will learn something.
Yeah.
It's also nice, speaking of nice people, that I do get, fair enough, that I do get recognition for my improvement in some way too.
Yeah.
Where they can be like, well, you're obviously not doing like everything right, but you're clearly like understanding something.
Yeah.
Like, obviously if you played me right now in Melee, I'd be shit, because who the hell in Vestivals plays Yoshi? I'll get beaten and be like, okay, that's how Yoshi works. I see. And you're like, motherfucker, just do this simple thing.
Yeah.
Do this one trick to defeat Dinosaur.
Yeah.
Same with because I play Marth, and it's specifically only. You know why I play Marth?
Because you played Marth in Brawl.
Also true, but it's also the character I played the most when we played when we were kids. It's the character I played the most, and I just there's literally no reason why I gravitated towards Marth.
Yeah.
Like it's because I didn't watch.
Your anime trash.
Yeah, exactly. Anime trash. I don't know what it is with the character, which I enjoy. Is it like because Marth doesn't work like any characters? I guess the closest would be Kai and Jin, because sword users.
Yeah.
But like I had nothing when I started playing Marth. It was literally not like gameplay wise, not even look wise. I just remember like I liked Marth as a kid, and that's how I'm gonna play it. Not really thinking about it either.
Yeah.
Then, as the stubborn hacker I am, except for in this game, I don't play anyone else at all.
Yeah.
Because I tried playing. Because we sometimes do okay, just pick random.
Yeah.
And every time I get a new character, I'm just like, something's off.
Yeah.
It's like, and I get that because the same with Blaze Blue. If I play Hakumen who can't run,
Yeah.
and his back doesn't have an ability, I'm gonna feel that. Where it's like,
Yeah.
all other characters are like zoom in, and Hakumen's like,
Yeah.
just skipping forward. And I don't know, Marth just gravitated toward me. I don't know why. I'm not like philosophical about it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I found my glove.
Yeah.
It just worked.
Yeah.
Usually the first character you pick is usually occasionally, it's the one you're going to keep playing. In Blaze Blue, that wasn't the case. But in Melee, it was. Same with Strive. I was going to play Potemkin in Strive, the big grappler from that game. But since Dear Leaf in our server, who doesn't play Strive anymore, wanted to play him, I just said like, what's the next character I can pick? Which I find interesting. I played Nagayuki, the new samurai, with his blood mechanic and cancels. And I just realized, as soon as I played him, I'm like, yeah, I'm not picking any other character.
Yeah.
Because that's how I usually approach like everything, where it's like, I find my niche really fast. And don't really swap around. This game's different. But for everything else, same with Under Night, I didn't play any other character than Merkava. Because I was like, I have long limbs and I can fly. And that's cool.
Yeah.
Thank God. If he would have got a hit, I would have laughed. Because I would have killed him. This character has insane... Fair enough. Comics mechanics. But for going back to Melee, like, I do enjoy playing it. And if someone pokes me about it, I'll probably play them.
Yeah.
It's like, unless I'm in Final Fantasy doing some grinding, I'll probably play Melee if you ask me.
Yeah.
Same with all other games. Just ask me. I'm not. I might be weird, but not that weird to talk to. Like, just poke me. It includes everyone. Even people who have been trying to be like, hey yo, like Gus, who was in chat earlier, which I've been memeing for a while, being like, when are you joining Blaze Blue though?
Yeah.
It's just like, at some point, I'll try it. And I'm like, hell yeah, because he plays Dragon Ball a lot. And he's getting really good at that. So I want him to, I want to give him another experience. Because I think he's actually getting really good at like handling the game. And I do want him to try different things. Like, just trying different things. If he goes back to Dragon Ball, that's cool too. And for me, for Melee, I'll go back to Melee. Like, once tournament starts, I will be playing it. I have been thinking about grinding it.
Yeah.
Like, actually training in it. Because another, like, self-imposed meme from the club is that, what if I actually trained? Like, what if I'm done. What if what if I actually played Melee?
Yeah.
Like, where the hell would I go? I knew exactly what it was gonna be. He was gonna rapid cancel. I was doing 2 at 40. Oh, I was ready, but not ready.
The most important thing is having fun.
Hell yeah, and I do have fun with Melee.
Yeah.
It's just hard for me, like, especially since my life right now. There's only 3 games I only play.
Yeah.
I play Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Because I'm obsessed. I play Endless Space and this.
Yeah.
And plus R whenever Henrik is like, I want a real fighting game. Please give me the anime, and I'm like, all right, I'll play with you. Something's dying.
Yeah, sometime.
That's fair.
It's for like the coffee machine and stuff like that.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, for Melee, like once the club is up, you'll see me play that game more. Absolutely. Because I do secretly want to be top 10 in our club. Because I was close to 11 once.
Yeah.
I don't know how. Maybe less players like dropped out or whatever, but
It should be doable.
yeah, I do believe in myself. Like my melee skills, not super good, but like as all fighting games I approach, like I'll just grind it. I'll just grind to get better and have fun with it.
Yeah.
Ooh, no, get the hell away from me. What are you doing?
So it sounds like you have a lot to look forward to then, kind of.
Yeah, like I am very excited for when like everything opens. Yeah,
Yeah.
because like I've been playing a lot of online with both FGC Lama here and I've been starting to slowly learn how to crawl in Discords without feeling awkward.
Yeah.
Because if I would like, say for example, poke a pro player, I'd just be like, I'm not worth of poking them. They ain't got time for me. But I should probably just kill that barrier slowly and just be blunt and ask them.
Yeah.
Or I have been starting to ask one player in FGC called Garan, a very, very, very good Venom player from the old Plus R days. And every time I've played with him, I've just had a good time because he's played way longer than I have.
Yeah.
Which is also nice. Which means I have someone to talk like not real meta shit, but like specific things you notice over the years.
Yeah.
Which is fun. I guess it's the same. That's sad. That actually hurts my bones. Llama. Bye bye. 1, 2, 3. Grab. Dead.
Fucking. I'm gonna pull it over to chat questions.
Yeah.
Because we're closing on the 2-hour mark.
I think it's only VFGC members here. Maybe someone else as well.
So if anyone in chat, I've seen a bunch of people write during the stream.
Yeah.
But I usually don't answer chat questions until after because I want to focus on hearing what the person's saying.
Yeah.
But now if you want to ask us something, then go ahead.
Yeah, and I'm up for both melee questions and fighting game questions. Not ask me about Final Fantasy 14 because we don't have all day.
Do not ask about Final Fantasy 14.
Don't. I will gush and you will regret. Can I kill Llama with this? I can. Bye, Llama. This hurts. Okay, I fucked up. Great sound, great. Give it to me. Speaking of personal experience, there do the pretzel input. God dang it, Leaf.
What?
No, there's an input called the pretzel.
Yeah.
From King of Fighters where you do that one use numpad notation, but you do down back, half circle back, and then down forward. So if you look at your numpad, it's 1 6 2 3 2 1 4 3.
Oh.
So you can do it from guard, like blocking, but it's an input most people don't enjoy.
Oh, it looks like a pretzel.
Yeah, because you have to give meme names to things. I mean, Arc System Works has its own input, which is was a quad circle back forward for supers.
Yeah.
So I don't know why it's called. It's because Arc System Works like started it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm looking at chat now. I've been playing and getting hacked by Llama.
Yeah.
But yeah, chat questions given to me. I can answer questions.
And if there are no questions, then
We could just wrap up too.
yeah.
It's been a 2 hours long thing. And
You should finish with doing a serious best of 5 with this guy. Does he know?
Yeah, we can do that. I'll play Jin because I do have to play my main. And also, I'm not feeling Hakumen right now. It's working, but it is a nope. I fucking puts okay.
If Hakuman is Jin from the future,
He's from the past, but a different timeline where shit gets fucked up and it gets sent to the past. It's fun. We don't worry about it.
why is he weaker?
What's this? Two of my favorite gentlemen in the whole wide world. Gentlemen.
Actually,
Where'd you get the tag Havre Oats from? Do you know that? Do you remember the story where I got my tag from?
it was because
Because it was bullied.
you had we were talking about WoW characters.
Yeah,
To
and
create WoW characters, and we already had a guy whose name was Havre Fras.
actually no.
Did his
It's
name
because of
come
me.
after?
He
Okay,
asked me for
okay.
permission, actually.
Okay. I don't know why it was hard. I remember it was because of World of Warcraft when we were
Yeah.
like
So the stories,
seven.
the stories are good bullied by my very low friends, not you, but like Joel, Joa, and company.
Yeah.
And they were, shit talking me, the kid who had extreme ADHD and didn't understand social cues.
Yeah.
So they were like, wouldn't it be funny if we named ourselves after grains? Oh, last for Llama. So this is his last
Yeah.
game. That's fine.
Okay.
We can still answer stuff. But what happened was they just been like, wouldn't it be funny if we named ourselves after grains? I was like, yeah. My friends tells me I should name myself after a grain. I'll do that.
Yeah.
And then obviously the next day they're like, haha, you're an idiot. We were just joking. You're stupid. And I didn't feel mega sad about it. I was more confused because
Yeah.
I was young and dumb. But then I realized when Skype came out,
Yeah.
that who the hell names themselves after this? I could just use this everywhere. So that's literally why I kept using it. It doesn't play a best of 3 against whatever secondaries in Melee. God, I could get hacked
I can
on
do
stream
it.
football. Yeah, I
If
can.
people care about it, I can do it.
Yeah, see me be not good at game. But that's where I got the nickname from, Leaf. It's not a very like glorious one at all. And also people forget my nickname. It doesn't matter where I go. As soon as I tell my real name, people are like, "What nickname? You have a cool name." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I hear it every single day. Can I hear my nickname?" And they're like, "No, you have the coolest name, bruh."
Yeah.
It's always fun when salesmen don't believe my name is Viking and use my middle name.
I actually didn't know they were mean to you about that.
I
They were
mean-
never really mean to me, I think, but I also think that was because
I mean, I was getting punched in the backyard because I trained karate, so we had like mock fights.
Yeah.
Because they were like, "You train karate," and me as a dumb kid didn't realize I should probably say stop. And I also was pretty fit back then. It's like, I mean, I punched a guy bloody with gloves once
Yeah.
in school
Yeah.
because of that. And after that, when the karate came in, I was like, okay, I'm never fighting again. I haven't been in a fight since.
Yeah.
Because fight's stupid. Don't fight, kids. Bro, I call
I
you
actually
over.
don't know who all of them. Who is that?
This-
The Twitch name.
The just call me Leaf or Adam Uses.
No. Yeah.
That's Yuborn.
Oh, it's Yuborn. I didn't know his Twitch name.
Yuborn's also the people.
Shout out to Yuborn.
Yeah, Yuborn also is one of the people who actually proponed for Blaze Blue.
Hmm.
Because I managed to convert Yuborn to that as well. We found a character and we played for too many hours. And then I beat him 50 times drunk once and it was fun. Because I don't lose my skills when I'm drunk apparently. And Lama's dead. Bye bye Lama. Thank you for the games. Bro, sorry, I gotta call you out. But I've been beaten too, it's fine. You've beaten me at tournaments, like you're playing good. You're learning. Etc. This is a very mixed one, but that's fine. I did get to play some Melee and show Blaze Blue on stream. Sus.
If you guys have any questions, we're doing viewer questions right now.
Yep, if you
We
have anything.
finished playing Blaze Blue now.
Yeah, Blaze Blue dead.
I got a request. We got a request to play Melee. Are people into that? If I say two yeses in chat, then we'll play Melee.
I'll get out the controller I bought from. Actually, my controller's from Finland.
Why is it from Finland?
Like Finland, the player.
Oh,
So yeah,
okay,
an extra.
okay.
It would have been fun.
I thought it was actually you went to Finland to
I've
buy
also
a
got.
controller.
Yeah, I see one yes from Boris. Thank you, Boris. Oh, that's fine. Yeah, shift tab.
Why doesn't Shift Tab work? in
Whatever.
this shit game?
I can write to him.
This is so mean to Blaze Blue also. Call it a shit game.
Shit game.
I can't do it.
I like how Leaf, the Melee stan, isn't here and saying yes.
Click it.
I'll click it.
There
Yep.
we go.
I'll just give you a sticker. What stickers do I have? Nothing. Have this. There we go. Get a dooza. That'll be my thing. Force clicker to return game. I see one. Okay, there we
We
go.
have two,
Yeah,
yes.
we have two. We have two people who want to see my Shitamarth.
Let's get it. Yeah, you can get the thing.
You have it. Yeah. Unplug my stick.
Yeah.
You get
I'm
it.
gonna switch the overlay.
Yeah. Fix your old stuff. This is a very mixed stream after all.
Shit. Which one? This one.
Nice.
And then we're switching it because it's not Ekim anymore.
Yeah, you can tag me with Havre.
No, not that. Properties.
Fixing things. It'll be fun trying Melee. I haven't touched the game since last week, I think.
That's not too long.
And well, I said, I occasionally when people play it, or if I get in the random mood of like,
I gave you yellow port.
yeah, thank you.
Do you always play yellow port?
I try to.
Yeah.
I know port priority is a thing and such, but I don't know. It's just become the thing because I'm usually like the third player to join as well. Because I always go to the club. All right, you can do this. I forgot.
I'll play. Do we have? You can actually suggest character, I guess, because you said I should play secondary, so you can suggest characters.
I mean, I'm fine playing whatever. I've met like literally everything thanks to both May and other people. Or
Mario.
yeah, because Gustonic is actually a Mario name. and don't predict.
I usually play Brown Mario. He's the poop one. Do you want to switch Rumble off?
Yes,
I
please.
reacted to
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. Rumble feels weird. I get why.
My Rumble is turned off also. It's just that I do it in the console
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah, yeah. The console thing.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Oops.
Oh, nice. I tried to trick you, learn me ages ago on this stage. Do you remember? You told me how to do this.
Oh. Cool.
I tried doing that. I've also started to slowly learn how to freaking jump out of shield. Yep. Yeah.
Oops.
Nope. Yeah, that's right, edge guard's a thing in this game. We all love it. Wahoo.
You just gotta start schmoving.
Yeah, I'm still having troubles adjusting to moving players overall. But it's just because my movement isn't as...
Shit.
That was
No, he's dying. The Mario. Do the Mario.
Run there, learn with the shield drop.
Oh shit.
Thank you, Goose, for the hoe. Oh, nice. Crouch cancel, right? That was crouch cancel down smash, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I can see things. Because then I still have to learn how to exactly look out for like what I get hit by and such. It's a wild game. Alright, the ice a thing too. But that's also a weird thing. To learn when you know headstones and such are exactly the same, and then you have this game where it's variable by both DI, but also what percentage you have.
The hit stun is always the same no matter, but how you fly is different. From
Yeah.
the DI.
Exactly. I just think I know you can jump that, but I forgot.
Yeah, you did also, but you did a bit late.
Yeah, that's fine. Yep. Ledge dash, but I'm still bad at it.
Mario! Any other character suggestions?
I mean, my kryptonite is Falco, in my opinion. It depends.
You think Falco's the worst one for you?
Well, it's because of the Young Link. Young Link makes me...
What are these terrible characters?
Because I just want to see something that's in top tier, which is fair. But I do like this game. Like I said, I'll probably... I have to get some encouragement to... Ooh.
Young Link is actually one of the campiest characters in the game.
Yeah, alright, you got it camping this. Which I also enjoy that. Speaking of FGC differences, the differences in vocabulary and languages. Because you can translate everything, but I just find it funny. Like, you call it camping, we call it like zoning or keep away, etc. I find that stuff hilarious, or not hilarious, but it's interesting how different terms are being made. That was unfortunate.
No, he doesn't reach anywhere.
Okay, it's time for me to gamer mode.
Gamer mode all you want. Yep. Oh my god. How do you play a game? Oh, yeah, that's a punish. Because that one's a minus. No, thank you. Oh, I see. That's nice.
I'm dying. How do I play Youngling?
How do I play this character? Have you, like, tried learning Youngling? Or is it, like, are you playing only by instinct?
I've never really tried Youngling.
Fair enough.
Of course, you have been forced to play in the, like, Iron Mans and stuff, but I haven't, like...
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
accidentally.
I haven't trained or anything. That's fair. That's why Iron Mans just don't work for me, because I played Marth. And I'm bad at L canceling still. Hey, crouch cancel, but not a good one.
Oh, I'm dead. You thought I was dead, you absolute buffoon.
You are dead.
Yeah, I'm dead.
God helps.
Okay, if you don't give me a character that's fun to play, then I'm gonna cry.
Cry. What is the character? Whomst.
It was like, oh, you should play Bowser. Like, yeah,
Oh,
I
God.
really enjoy playing Bowser.
Oh, yeah.
It's so fun not being able to move and express myself through my favorite game.
It's like, ugh.
Do I have any character suggestions in the
Peach?
chat? Otherwise, I'll just play Peach. Yeah, okay.
Vision is me. Shoutouts to Sharp.
I don't play Peach either. Peach is very unique.
Yeah, she is. I do like seeing Peaches and such. The eyes, why can't I? The eyes, smart.
Oh my goodness.
Like this. Really? Really? Double bang? Alright, it's called flankings. I should read the edge guarding document at some point. I haven't touched that. Touch that document. I forgot. Alright. Oh well. Alright, that's a weird thing quirk for me in Melee.
Oh shoot!
Oh, well, you come back. You're a Peach.
Yeah, it's just that maybe I don't know how to come back.
True. How do I come back from this? That's also a fun thing specifically for me in Melee, but apparently I'm the person who walks.
Whoa.
There's a famous infamous clip on our server where I'm walking forward on FOD against I think Tuvas Sheik like ages ago, and my plan was that I'm just gonna down tilt and push them out of the stage.
Yeah.
But the millisecond when I press down A, the platform rises, so I get it there and kill them. So the clip is just me like just walking like this.
Yeah.
And
Then down there.
yeah, just down there for like a millimeter off the ground. And people just be like, what the f? Like, did you calculate this? I'm like, no. I just want to do a different thing, and sometimes cool things happen. So occasionally I do okay options. It's just, gotta learn. Live and learn. Yep. And this should be...
Oops.
Yeah? 1, 2, 3...
Doing the peach thing. I'm trying to do the peach thing where you just throw the turnip.
Throwing it forever. Oh dear. Oh, that was an intentional leader. Speaking of non-intentional things.
No, I missed it.
I saw exactly what I was... I saw the scrunch face. I'm like, no. that another scrunch? No.
No.
Look, it
It's
looked
called
like one.
Stitch.
Yeah, Stitch. I just scrunched. Just found it funny. Yeah, that should. Yeah.
That was a Stitch, but I dropped it.
Why have good tools when you can gamble game? Nice.
Oh, I should use the tool. Oh no. Oh, I had that. Okay, goodbye. I'm going for ledge.
No fear. No fear, jab.
I don't know how to float cancel. Okay, I'm just going to ledge.
Fair enough.
That was a forward smash from you, I saw it.
I tried to grab. Alright, this game's weird where you can grab people in there. That's always amusing. Because that's not possible in most fighting games.
Really?
Yeah. Most characters, if they're in there, you can't grab them. Unless it's like an anti.
So if they're in the air, you can't grab them?
Yeah, that's why jumping up is a way to avoid throws. Because the game counts your... you call it squat in this game. We call it pre-jump frames.
Yeah.
And in pre-jump, you're vulnerable to throws, just so you can hold up. Obviously, it depends on, like, usually... I'm getting...
I should play like I do with Yoshi.
Maybe. I...
Oh no.
What the... Weird ass... Did I just do...
I'm not dying. No, I should have nared. You can't catch me. No! GG.
You can't catch me.
You can't
Famous
catch me.
last words. Well, this was a very mixed stream, but I'm happy we did it.
Yeah.
You got to ask some questions and enjoy my endless tangents.
Yeah.
Hopefully I got one person be like, please do look cool. Probably not,
Yeah.
but yeah, can have fun.
Yeah. I'll proceed to never touch any of those characters ever again.
Yeah. Be
No,
on
I actually really like playing Mario. Mario's actually super fun.
Okay.
But the rest of them are not fun
I mean,
to me right now. Because
yeah.
I don't know... Like, Peach is so weird when you have to float cancel.
Okay.
And I don't know... No, I'm not trying to play. I'm just trying
No,
to...
no, no. You're showing.
Because I don't even know how to do it.
It's probably, yeah. I mean, it's a bit of a rhythm for the character, right? For like you have to jump or... Because you have to double jump, right?
No.
Right?
Shit. There we go. You have to hold down so you start floating while jumping.
Oh, yeah.
So you don't have to double jump, you just have to be holding down
Oh.
to start the float.
Is it specifically down or all angles of down?
It can be any angle.
That's
down.
nice.
So you can like...
Yeah. That's cool. That's my freaking...
Yeah.
That's nice. Thank you for teaching me that.
No prob. Alright,
See y'all.
gamers, it's been a long one.
It's been a long, tangential, weird one, but hey, I hope you had fun.
Yeah. I'll see you guys on an actual player spotlight sometime. I don't know.
Not with fakers like me.
Not with non-melee players. Well, you do play melee. You destroyed my Peach just now. That's gamer genes.
I have met Sharp's Peach, and I know what hell it looks like.
Yeah.
And it's the same with Captain... Like, whenever I meet a bad Captain Falcon online, I just go, you ain't Smushmorph.
Yeah.
I'm like, I've seen hell.
Yeah.
No. Don't try to stop me. Etc. So, but yeah, thank you. It was great.
Thanks for coming,
agree.
everyone. Thanks for the sub. I think it was Leaf who gifted
Yeah.
a sub, and also
Yeah.
thanks for the cheer. I think honestly it was just done to be able to show their name at the top, which
Obviously.
I respect it.
Yeah.
As long as you give me money, I don't care. I'm kidding, actually. Oh shit! There's gonna be a cheering war. Is there gonna be a sub gifting war?
Please don't.
Please do. Gift more subs to me, and I will never get the Twitch check because Twitch works in a way where you don't get. Thanks for the shares.
Is this because of your talking or is it me?
You don't get your money from Twitch until you've gotten a certain chunk of money, which means that I will never get the money that you send me right now. So I appreciate it, but I will never get like whatever 500 crowns or worth or something.
20 years later,
I need
20 years later, you're just checking your bank account, it's just 500. You're like, where's
fuck is this?
You're like, okay, I'm eating good dinner tonight. Oh, I know. Oh dear.
Yeah.
One chips.
But thanks for coming, and shout outs to all of the Westeros fighting game community.
Yeah, the ones who came, I really appreciate them.
Yeah. They're the boys, the lads.
They are very good. I mean, I am Sherman for a reason still, and I love my little community. Thank you, gentlemen.
Yeah. I'll never forget the trip to Beast that we had together in the car. It was very fun.
I've heard good things about Beast.
I enjoyed the time.
And who knows? Maybe when I get money, I'll go to Stockholm as well and play some Melee.
You guys should raid Stockholm locals, because Sharp always goes, so you should come with them and raid us.
Yeah, I'll be there, get O2 bracket, and then someone will be like, "What's this anime?
Yeah.
Why do I hear in the background?" I'm like, join me for degeneracy.
Because I started we went to Corbett, so you guys should come to our local now. It's only fair.
All right, COVID might happen.
Cool.
Which will be neat. Thanks restrictions, but yeah. Thank you all for
Anyways, see ya. Bye.
Bye. Good God, camera. I hate cameras.
Bye.
Yeah, I think I've been like this all stream. Oh well. See y'all.